Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I am Muhammad Yasin. This is virtual class of Pakistan International School Taif. This class is for the students of grade 10. We are going to do chapter 11 today, and this is our 22nd video in this class. After today's lesson, we shall be able to write the essay My Hobby. We shall be able to understand the passage given in Unit 11. We shall learn correct pronunciation and meaning of new words. And we shall do some exercises of Unit 11 also. Dear students, let us start by the essay My Hobby. You are very much familiar the layout of the essay. We introduce the topic, then we write main content and then conclude the essay. For example, what I have mentioned here, dear students, I think you know very well that what I give you is given just like a sample. You can change it, add in it, leave from it. For example, in first paragraph, I have mentioned a hobby is an activity pursued for pleasure or relaxation, but not as a main occupation. It is not taken as main profession, but this is only to pass time, to spend some time when you are free, to spend leisure time, to be happy. One needs to have a pastime and to engage oneself. Yes, everyone needs to do something when he is free. Hobby of one's choice is the best pastime. Yes, if you select your hobby of your own choice, it can make you happy. Different people have different hobbies. Some like to watch TV. Yes, you may have seen. Some people like to watch TV when they are free. Some like stamp collecting, and some like to do kitchen work. Do is missing here. You will write here do kitchen work when they are free. I like gardening. Yes, students. Gardening is a very pleasant and rewarding hobby. Some nature lovers have a hobby of gardening because they love nature's scenic beauty. In gardening, I grow different types of plants, vegetables, shrubs, bushes where flowers blossom. It provides me fresh flowers and vegetables. Plants and trees are an essential component of our life. It provides scope for physical exercise as well as mental satisfaction. I feel fresh and fit after spending some time in gardening. Yes, students, when we do gardening, we do physical exercise also, and we are very close to the nature. We observe the nature. We become automatically fresh and fit because of exercise, and fresh because of closeness to the nature. Third paragraph is here. Though overpopulation has damaged the environment, through gardening we can reduce this damage to some extent. Yes, from sowing a seed to the growing of plant are all a very pleasant experience. My parents are very happy with my hobby. I invite my friends to see my lawn when it is full of flowers and vegetables. It provides a sense of fulfillment and achievement. Last but not the least, it provides a communication with the divine. Yes, how a plant can grow out of a small seed. It looks like a miracle worthy of being watched. Yes, students, when we sow a seed in our garden, a very little plant comes out of it. It grows bigger and bigger. To watch it every day is enjoyable. Yes, it is like this, dear students. This is the hobby that I have selected for you. Not necessary it is to continue with my hobby as gardening. You can write this essay about any other hobby also. You can say my hobby is watching television, and then in that case you will mention some programs that you like to watch on television. In the same way, you can select any other also. I don't want to suggest here for you. You think about yourself what you like to do when you are free, and then you can write your essay about that. Dear students, this is our unit 11 that we are going to start today. The title of this lesson is Great Expectations. This is the first page. This is the top of the first page. It looks exactly like this when we open our book. And this is the picture that represents the title of the essay, Great Expectations. Dear students, before starting the reading of our today's lesson, I want you get familiar with some of the words which may be new for some of you. Attempt means to try to do something. Convict is used as a verb and as a noun also. When it is used as a verb, it means to decide officially in a court of law that someone has committed a crime. Yes, this is verb. When it is used as verb, it means to decide if someone has done something wrong or not. And when it is used as a noun, it means someone who is in prison because they are guilty of a particular crime. Yes, this is convict when it is used as a noun. This is escape. Escape means to succeed in getting away from a place where you do not want to be. Yes, students, after this the next word is capture. Capture means to catch someone and make them your prisoner. Dear students, this is the first paragraph of our lesson. We are going to start reading. I shall read main points for you to get some understanding of the lesson, to try to understand what is said in this lesson. In first paragraph, the question is, have you ever read any novel by Charles Dickens? Dear students, Charles Dickens is a writer. He has written many plays, many novels, many stories. The question is, have you read any? You can say here, no, I have not read, but I am looking to read one of his novels. If you have read anyone, you can write the name of that and write 1 to 3 sentences about that book which you have read, written by Charles Dickens. The novel Great Expectations was written by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens is a famous English author. The story took place in England in the 19th century. The main character is called Pip. Pip is the main character of this story. We read about his life from childhood to manhood. Yes, students, this is first paragraph. You can see second and third paragraph now. In second paragraph, it is mentioned the story begins when Pip was a lonely orphan. Orphan means a child whose parents have died. He was brought up by his sister. She was very strict and hard with him. His best friend was Joe, his sister's husband. What is the name of the child? Pip. Who brought him up? His sister. Who is this Joe? This Joe is his sister's husband. He was kind and warm-hearted. He loved Pip as if he were his own son. What kind of boy was Pip? We are trying to find out the answer also. One day Pip gave something to eat and drink to a prisoner who had escaped from prison. The man was captured by soldiers and taken away, but he never forgot Pip's kindness. Dear students, here in paragraph 3 we come to know Pip was a very kind-hearted person. When he saw someone sitting on the street, in fact he was a prisoner, escaped from the prison, Pip helped that prisoner who was sitting on the street. This paragraph tells us about Pip. What shall we say? Pip was very kind-hearted and liked to help the poor. This is paragraph 4. In this paragraph, we come to know later Pip was told that he would be given a lot of money. Yes. This was so that he could receive good education in London and become a better person. The question of next paragraph is, what changed Pip's life? In London, Pip studied hard. He received money regularly, but he did not know where or who it came from. Yes, student, as an orphan when he was being brought up by his sister, regularly he was getting some money from somewhere and he did not know from where that money was coming. He lived in a flat with a young man who had little money but who worked for an insurance agent. They became friends. After some years, Pip was visited by the prisoner whom he had helped as a child. Yes, that prisoner came to visit him again. The man had been sent with other convicts to Australia and had become a very wealthy farmer there. Yes, students. The prisoner has done something wrong. As his punishment, he was sent to Australia. Dear students, at that time there was a custom to punish someone. This was the punishment, that he was sent to any other country to live over there. In fact, he was the one that Pip's allowance came from. Yes. In fact, during his childhood, the money that Pip was receiving regularly was coming from that prisoner. Now he was prisoner, he was working in Australia and he was a wealthy farmer. He wanted Pip to have the advantages of education and money, although he was not a gentleman himself. Actually, he was still wanted by the police in England. Yes, in that condition at that time, in that situation, England police was trying to arrest him. Let us move forward. This is the next paragraph. It is mentioned here, Pip and his friend decided that London was too dangerous for the wanted man. Yes, this is the time, in fact, when the prisoner came to see Pip, to visit Pip. England police has sent him out of England to Australia. From Australia, he came to London to visit Pip. Now Pip and his friend are thinking that England is not good for him, for the prisoner. They thought that Pip should take him abroad. Pip and his friend decided to take him out of England. As they attempted to board a ship, he was caught by the police. At his trial in court, he was sentenced to death by the judge. Yes, students, when Pip was trying to take him out of England, police caught him and court sentenced him to death. Sentenced means court decided to kill him. Before he could be hanged, he died in prison. Yes, he died before he was going to be hanged. By law, all his money belonged to the government. Yes. So Pip had to find a job to support himself. Now, Pip had nothing. In fact, the prisoner could not transfer his property to Pip in his life. He went to the prison and died. That is why the whole property of that prisoner went to the government. He became a clerk in his friend's office. Years later, he became part owner of the insurance firm, so he had a successful career as a result of his own efforts and not because of the fortune that he had been promised. How did Pip become a successful businessman? Yes, he became successful businessman. Dear students, in this story you can try to understand. First, Pip was expecting some money from the prisoner. At that time he did not do anything. He did not get a job. He did not try to work hard to get some money. But when the prisoner died, expectation was finished. Then he decided to work. He worked hard and became wealthy. Can you understand what is going on here in the story? Dear students, I shall tell you a little more in my own words what is going on in this story. The name of the story is Great Expectations. Sometimes we expect something from anywhere other and we wait for that. While waiting, we spend years and years and years, but we do not get that. When the expectation is finished, then we come to know that we have to work. When we start work, when we work hard, we become wealthy. We get wealth, we get money when we start working. This is the main thing explained here in this lesson. Let us try to read the theme. Great Expectations is a novel by Charles Dickens. It depict means it picturize. It shows us the picture of the growth and personal development of an orphan named Pip, similar to Dickens' memories of his own childhood. Yes, students, here we are told Dickens, who is the writer of this novel, his own childhood was like Pip also. In his early years, the young Pip seems powerless to stand against injustice or to ever realize his dreams for a better life. However, as he grows into a useful worker and then an educated young man, he reaches an important realization. Grand schemes and dreams are never what they first seem to. Yes, students, when we live in the world of dreams, in the world of expectations, we get nothing. In fact, we get when we start working. When we decide to do something, when we decide to achieve something, when we decide to get something, and we try to do that, then we get something. Otherwise, nothing. Yes, students, after this is the glossary. Glossary means word meanings are given here. We have covered some of the words in our pronunciation and meaning section. It is very important for all of you to learn these word meanings. Attempt means try to do something. Convict is, as I told you before, it can be used as verb, it can be used as noun. When it is used as noun, it means the person. When it is used as verb, it means to prove in court that someone has done something wrong. Escape means to get away from a place. Orphan means a child whose parents are dead. Recapture means to take back somebody. Sentence means the punishment given by a law court. Trial means to the procedure by which a court determines the guilt or innocence of someone. Warm-hearted means friendly and generous. Dear students, while reading the lesson, you might have noticed that there were some questions written in boxes. I tried to discuss the answers of those questions while reading the lesson also, but here I have written the answers of all those questions which you found in boxes while reading the lesson. Let us read these answers in detail. Have you read any novel? Dear students, I told you before, you can say no, you can say yes, but yes, no, simply saying is not a correct answer. It can be correct, but it will not secure full marks for you. You have to prepare the answer, make the answer. For example, if I say yes, I have read a few of his novels. He loves words and likes to produce a pretty piece of writing in different styles. He included lots of powerful adjectives and is famous for his use of metaphors and similes. Dear students, here two words are used, metaphors and similes. They are very near to each other. But as I have told you before, simile is a word that is used to compare two things. I give you example always. Ali is like a lion. Ali is like a lion, that is simile. Ali is a lion, that is metaphor. When we say Ali is a lion, we declare Ali as a lion. But when we say Ali is like a lion, we compare Ali with lion. When we compare, not declare, that is simile. When we compare and declare one thing as another, that is called metaphor. Charles Dickens is the writer who has used so many metaphors and similes. Dear students, to use metaphors and similes is a very good quality of a writer. Everyone cannot do that. Question number 2 is, what kind of boy was Pip? Pip was a lonely orphan boy brought up by his sister, who was strict, hard and abusive to him and her husband Joe. Yes, here the character of Pip's sister is mentioned, who was warm-hearted and loved Pip as his own son. Yes, students, here we find information about Pip, his sister, and his sister's husband. Question number 3 is, what changed Pip's life? Yes, there came a turn in his life and his life was totally changed. What was that? In London, Pip studied hard, developed good habits and better personality, which changed his life when he was receiving money regularly sent by an anonymous person. How did Pip become a successful businessman? When the government took hold of the prisoner's whole wealth, Pip became a clerk in an insurance firm, then the past owner of the same firm and a successful business by his own efforts and working hard. Dear students, here in his life we find two turns. In fact, I want to discuss with you both of them. From this story we come to know Pip was brought up by his sister. Okay. One turn in his life comes when prisoner starts sending him money and he starts getting education. This is the one turn in his life. The first turn in his life, the first change in his life comes when he starts getting regular money from the prisoner, because when he starts getting education. The second turn in his life is when the prisoner's wealth is taken by the government, and at that time he comes to know that he will get nothing from prisoner's wealth. This is the second change in his behavior. In your answer of question 3, what changed Pip's life, you can mention any one of these two changes. What is the first change? The first change in his life takes place when he starts getting money from the prisoner regularly. The second change takes place in his life when he comes to know that prisoner's wealth is taken by the government and he will get nothing from the prisoner's wealth. These are the two main changes. You can mention any one of these two in your answer. Dear students, I think you have got some better understanding of the passage given in this lesson. Let us move forward. Dear students, we are going to start the exercises of this lesson. The first section is vocabulary section. In this section, we are set to explain each phrase as used in the text. For example, a lonely orphan. A lonely orphan. Orphan means a child whose parents have died, and lonely means no one is to look after him or her. Let us look at their meaning. A lonely orphan, an orphan who has no one to support. Brought up by means looked after. reared by or looked after and supported by to become adult. Brought up by means looked after. Okay, wanted by the police means a suspect criminal sought by the police. The person whom the police is trying to arrest is called wanted by the police. To board a ship means to get on a ship. Belonged to the government means it was the property of the government. Fortune that he had been promised means the wealth that he expected to get. Yes, students, this was exercise A of vocabulary section. This is the next exercise. In this exercise, we are set to make as many words as you can from the given root word. Use these words in sentences also. We are set to make words by using the word expect, and at the same time we are set to use them in our sentences also. Let us make the words and use them in our sentences. For example, from expect we can make expectation, we can make expecting, we can make expected, we can make expects. Now we shall use all of these words in our own sentences. For example, expectation can be used in our sentence like this. The expectation is that the property price would rise. Expecting can be used in our sentence. We want expecting such a great performance from him. Expected can be used in sentence. Your arrival was expected but you didn't come. Expects can be used as he always expects better from his friends. Dear students, you can see the difference of these words in relation to the tense also. Expectation is a noun. It will be used in the sentence as a noun. Expecting is present participle. It will be used as present participle also. Expected is past participle. It will be used as past participle. And expects is present simple tense. S is added at the end of the verb. It will be used as it is. Yes, students, let us move forward. Here is reading comprehension section. Reading comprehension section is to answer the questions. Here are 7 questions given. We have to answer all of them one by one. We shall start it in our next lesson. Reading comprehension is to answer the questions. You can see the questions here. There are 7 questions. We shall answer them in our next lesson. This is our homework. In your homework, you will learn and write the essay, My Hobby. We did it in the beginning of today's lesson. You can change it. You can write your own. You can mention whatever you want in your hobby. Not necessary it is to write the same. I have written about my hobby, but you can change it. You can write about TV watching, watching television, working in the kitchen, playing with friends, or anything else, whatever you like. After that, you will read the passage given in Unit 11 to get better understanding. Read it thoroughly. Then you will do the exercises that we have done today. Dear students, that is all from our today's lesson. See you later in our new lesson. Goodbye.